Hello there, beautiful souls. Yes, I'm gonna keep that intro. So, welcome to the podcast, Jezreel with Jezreel. And for the first episode, this is going to be so special because this is my hope story. So, this is the journey of me struggling with mental illness, depression, and anxiety.
Welcome to episodes of real life messages from real life stories here at Jezreel with Jezreel.
Yes, you heard it right. I was diagnosed with depression and mixed anxiety last year when I decided to see a psychiatrist, not knowing that I've been struggling with it for almost 8 years of my life. So, before I get into details, why am I making this video? Well, it's just so timely na we are experiencing this pandemic and a lot of people are experiencing mental illness or they are struggling with depression and anxiety because of the uncertainties that we are facing right now. And because I wanted to end the stigma. So hashtag end the stigma, hashtag you're not alone. So it's all over the social media these days because it is really needed to be aware that mental illness is real, it exists. So if before we do not have this, but it has a name now, and I think that as much as we care about our physical health, we should equally care for our mental health as well. So, how does it started? How does my mental illness started? As I mentioned, I had this 8 years ago. I'm struggling with it, and I'm really not aware of it. So, how old was I then? I was 18. I was 18, growing up within a family full of drama, having insecurities from my childhood. So there's situations that I encountered in relationships. So I was not aware that it affects my, not just my inner self, inner soul, but it has to do something inside my head. And so, wait, I have another question here. So I have an outline of questions to discuss on this podcast. So, when and why did you decide to seek help? When there was a time last year that I was really consumed by a lot of emotions that it affects the way I'm thinking about things. As I've said, I am a Christian and I have Christ in my life, in my heart, and I know some would say that having Christ is the answer to all of our problems. Christ will give you a way of escape on this dark situations in your life. But Psalms 88 is so true to me that I end up speaking words that I don't want to live anymore. Well, there were times in this the 8 years of having this kind of illness that I'm not aware of, where there are times na I would say na, Lord, kunin mo na lang ako. Hindi ko na ito kaya. This suicidal thoughts. And, well, that's the thing. Depression is something that would lead you to not want to live anymore. And that was the time that I am really struggling for my life, because at some point I want to leave. At some point I just want to end things. And in depression, there are times na sabi nga nila, I was one of the strongest people they know. My friends, some of my family would say na drama lang yung naramdaman ko. Yun, naranasan ko yun. It's not true. And it's just that you're lacking in prayer, or you're disconnected with God. But I know my relationship with God is so intimate. And then may ganun. Ano yun? Well, many people struggling in depression really don't want to feel that way. They don't want to struggle and had these thoughts in mind. Pero nangyayari siya because it's uncontrollable. It's an attack that can happen to anyone, even a Christian. And nung time na yun, my doctor said na even the strongest people, kaya nga sila nag-struggle niyan, because they were too tired to be strong. Napagod sila maging malakas. So, ang tendency, ayoko na magpahinga. Ayoko, hindi ko na kaya. And that is exactly the feeling that year in my life, that specific month in my life, where I've been so consumed with all the life's issue, relationship issues, and all. So I decided to pray it away. But again, it is not something that you can pray away. That's the reality. It's not something that you can pray away. Yung diabetes, yung cancer. It doesn't mean na you have this illness. Sabihin, hindi ka na mabuting Kristiyano. I mean, hindi ka na nagpe-pray, hindi ka na nagbabasa ng Word of God. It's just, we are body, soul, and spirit, and our body includes our physical, and the physical includes our mind, our mental. So, yeah, it's something that you can pray away. But then, I decided to get back up. Tumayo ulit ako, nilabanan ko yun, and after a month, I am functioning well again. Functioning well, coping up with life. But I have triggers, and I don't want to share to you because you might trigger me. So, yeah, I have triggers, and I know that trigger. And kapag ina-attack na ko nun, I am really so disturbed, and I really don't want to feel it. And that's when I decided to seek help. December last year. So, ending the year right. I decided to seek for professional help. And it really helped me, because just like speaking to close friend or to your counselors, parang may malaking bato na naalis sa'yo. Yun. So, it helped me. She gave me meds for my first consultation. After that, I didn't went to any session because yes, our great physician is our Jesus Christ. But that helped me. That helped me a lot. The meds, I took all of it. But after that, I stopped because I think that I'm getting well. But yeah, um, seeking for professional help is different from seeking God's help. And I can share you the difference between the two on another podcast or maybe with a guest where they or they can tell you more about it and it sounds more real to you than I talking about it. But yeah, so there, seeking for professional help would help us a lot. And now, how to be better? How to be better? Yeah. In my case, in my case, I remember that God gave me this one word that I can hold on to for this year, and it's the word acceptance. First is I accepted that I had this illness. I accepted the situations that um, happened in my life that contributed that the right word contributed to this illness or why did this illness was brought up was given in my life. So yeah, I accepted everything about it and I accepted that there there's a cure about it, and that's the thing about having mental illness is that we are ashamed. Ako nga itong recording na to, it took me, I don't know, about 10 or more takes, days to take. Imagine days yun na I will try to record or have this, but I can't finish it because I'm afraid, I'm full of fear, I'm crying, and that's something na we want to break. We want to break the stigma that when you seek for professional help, when you go to a psychiatrist, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that sira ulo ka or may sayad ka, may toyo ka. Well, yeah, that's something na we struggle to. Hindi kami makapag-come up kasi we don't want to burden people now whenever we are having this panic attacks, whenever we are experiencing depression, we don't want to burden people, so we just keep it to ourselves. And you know, it's one thing that na nagpapabigat na dun din sa dinadala namin. So having this illness and knowing about it is something na not just for oneself, but you can be a good help to people struggling with it. So yeah, first, how to be better, first you have to accept that that it exists, you are experiencing it, and you have to accept that you need help. You need help first from the Lord, of course. You pray to God, seek for God's help to give you courage to overcome it, and seek for professional help. It's an and, A and B. Sabihin, huwag mong paghiwalayin yan. Partner sila. So, seek for professional help because it would really help us to become better. So, also, what I'm doing when there's a lot of uh, dark thoughts in my mind, or something na I'm experiencing anxiety, na pag meron ka sa panic attack, when I feel chest pain, hindi ka makahinga, and you really want to catch your breath kasi mamamatay ka talaga. Mamamatay ka talaga kapag hindi mo alam kung paano ka babalik sa normal state. Yun. So, that's when I'm experiencing panic attack. Na hindi ako makahinga. Then, suddenly, after that, I will tear up. As in, iyak na lang ako ng maraming iyak. So, then I will trace what triggered me. Kaya lang there's some situations na walang reason at all. Yeah, walang reason at all. But when I trace my trigger, I kasi that's why you need to seek God for help. You need inner healing, yung healing from your heart, from within your soul. It would only come from God, and the professional help would just figure out how to handle the thoughts in your mind. So when I experience panic attack, I would, some people would journal, but I do blogs. I have this blog sa Tumblr na I write about how dark I feel, how betrayed I feel, how insecure I feel, because those are negative thoughts na one can lead mental illness. And whenever I write about those things, it helps me na makagaan yun sa pakiramdam ko. And then, what else? How to be better? Breathe. Just breathe. Breathing exercise. You just inhale and exhale until you become better. So, that's basically how I get myself better. Also, people, you need people who would really understand you, who would really go through with you in that dark moment of your life. Well, I have my sister, and she knows about this illness. And whenever, kasi having depression din, meron kang mga anger issues. So, sabi nga ni doctor, you must know anger management. because, but don't be scared of me. Please love me still. Yun, so I am getting well. Yun, I raised I raised my voice, something like that. But yeah, if you know me, if you encountered me, I am so cheerful, a jolly person. But when I am attacked with this anxiety, I became a totally different one. So I just want you to be aware that, yeah, an encouragement that I will not forget when what my doctor said. He said that you are not your mental illness. So whenever you see me in a different person that is not me, this is the mental illness that I have. So I want you to understand. So yeah, you have to have these people around you. Kasi yung kapatid ko, kapag nakita niya ako na parang napapasigaw or nagagalit, lagi na sabihin na, ate, anger management. So, it helps. It helps. And she easily gets me back to myself. Yeah. So, parang mahaba na to ah. Kaya, let's move on to message to all suffering depression or mental illness. So again, do not be ashamed. This is the time for us to speak about it because yes, we've been hiding ourselves and keeping it to ourselves for the longest time, but God had made a way. God did made a way for us to get out of the shell that we are in. Kasi, di ba, napasa na yung Mental Health Act, yung mag-welfare sa mga may mental health illness and so yeah, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Well, that is a valid excuse na i-keep mo na lang, tumahimik ka na lang because of our judgmental society, but seeking for help from the people around you is also a help for yourself. So I'm not saying that I am really free from this illness, but I know that I've been well since I come out, since I seek for professional help, since I share, because when I went to the psychiatrist, I was alone. I was alone because, yeah, I don't want to be a burden to the people I love. But after that, just last month or 2 months ago, ko lang din na-share sa kapatid ko, sa kanila na I am clinically depressed. So, yeah, just don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, because it's normal. It's normal, and there's a hope. There will always be a hope for us. So, message to all concerned citizens. I hope you are more of concern than more of a judgmental citizen. But for every one of us, sa atin na natatakbuhan din ng mga tao na nakakaranas nito, uh, basic advice, that basic message for all of us is to just shut up and listen to them. Lend them your ears because alam niyo yun, they don't need advice. They don't need your sermons. They just want to know that you are with them. Sometimes yung tabihan mo lang sila, pakinggan mo lang sila. Nakakagaan yun ng pakiramdam more than magbigay ka ng advice because that's the least we want to hear. That's the least we want to have when we are experiencing depression and anxiety. But rather make them feel loved, make them feel that they are not alone and you are with them in that season of their lives. So about the Christians, kasi ganun din ako before. Whenever I have counselings na they're experiencing depression or deep pain and sobrang loneliness and emptiness, I tend to look up for a verse or throw them Bible verses na mapapanghawakan nila. But one thing I've learned from a webinar that I attended is that you don't want to throw them Bible verses because they will just add up na ma-realize nila na ay baka nga nagkukulang na ako spiritually, baka nga galit na sa akin si Lord and all that. So it is well explained there na the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. So kailangan i-strengthen, palakasin muna natin yung flesh. So hindi muna natin sila bigyan ng verses, hindi muna natin sila sabihin na mag-pray ka, pray mo lang yan, kulang ka sa dasal. So ayun, palakasin muna natin yung sa physical realm or yung mental health nila. Then continue to pray. Mag-pray ka lang habang pinapakinggan mo yung friend mo or someone na nag-struggle about his mental health issues. Mag-intercede ka lang and then if lead ka na ni Lord to speak Bible verses, then it's the only time na magsabi ka ng verse. Because we Christians, especially pastors, we tend to offer them the truth from the Bible, pero hindi naman yun yung kailangan nila. Kaya nga we are using the hashtag you are not alone. You're not alone because of course God will never leave us nor forsake us. But people struggling with this kind of illness would rather want people to be around them, to be just there for them to listen. So yeah, that's basically my hope story. And I forgot, you have to know your triggers pala. So because knowing this would help you to find a way to be better, so you can release whatever's in your mind and whatever's burdening you deep down. So yeah, remember to know your triggers and yeah, again, seek for God's help first and seek for professional help. So you are not alone. I was I was helpless that time, but I had hope because I know that Jesus will be with me through the end of the earth. So whatever I'm facing here on earth, as I am still living here on earth, is something that I am going through with God, and He will get me through this. So don't ever, or I understand that you might want to end up your life, but please don't. Don't do it. Fight against it through prayer and through with the people, with with a doctor, with your doctor, therapist, and we can do this. We can finish this race with flying colors. So just um sabi nga nila, what did they say? Sabi nila, just wing it. Just wing it. And yeah, sana nga ganun kadali no? Pero wala namang mahirap kay Lord. And yeah, your willpower. Kailangan lang din ng you decide to live. And always remember the people around you. And because of this issue in my life, having this mental health illness in my life, it brought me to an open door. So I want to introduce to you my advocacy, my campaign, Mind Your Mind, Psalm 8 verse 4, where God is really mindful of us. So you should be mindful with yourself because God cares for us. Yeah, so this is a campaign. Just last month, June, I applied as a volunteer or as a mental health advocate in Philippine Mental Health Association, and that is why I am running this campaign online, where I want to hear real life stories from people who are struggling in depression. If I can extend grace and love for you through online, you can just I will be up with a Facebook group for this campaign, for the Mind Your Mind campaign. So if you are struggling with mental illness, I would want to hear your story, and I can be and I can point you to people that can help you. So yeah, there it is. This is my hope story, and I pray and I hope that it shed light to you. So again, see you on my next episode here in our podcast, Just Religious.